Okay. So let's just do the multiplication rule for now. The number, for people who are online, these are the examples they're doing for Math Bingo. So 2 times 2 is what? 4. What's the rule when you're multiplying the bases? What do you do to the exponents? Add them, and that is rule number 1. You add the exponents. So this would be x to the what? 3 plus a negative 1? X squared. Y to the, what is negative 3 plus 3? 0. Okay, what's anything to the 0 power? 1. So this turns into actually 4x squared. You could write 4x squared times 1, but that's still 4x squared. Which one's that? B. So color in B. The first 5 people to win get their choice of a prize or a half an assignment off. Curiosity, look up right now at me. Lock eyes with me in an uncomfortable way, please. Yeah, I hate it. Okay, so example 1, give me one of these if you would have totally been able to do this before this class. Just this example 1, if you would have gotten this right before this class period, give me one of these. Like, hey. Okay, all right, example 2. Let's do x over parentheses 2x to the 0 parentheses squared. What do we do with that square on the outside? Distribute it in, but here's the thing to be careful about. Make sure everything has a power, even the 2. It's 2 to the first power. So when you distribute that 2, that square, you've got to distribute it to both of those, which is x on top. On the bottom, it's 2 squared, and I guess what? 0 times 2 is still 0. And anything to the 0 power is just 1, right? So what's the final answer for this one? X over 4. Good, because 2 squared is 4. We've got lots of time today, so please stop me if I hit something where you're like, I don't know where that came from. What was it? O? All right, so this was O, this one was A. No, B?
B.
All right, A, where's my finger? Yeah, B and O, okay. Next one, let's do, go back to this sheet. Let's try, we've done that one and that one. Let's try, oh, there you are. All right, let's do that one. X to the negative 1 over 4x to the 4th. Now, you could subtract the 2, but I think the easiest way to do this is if you have a negative exponent, where does it go? It moves it to the bottom. By the way, if there's a negative exponent on the bottom, it moves it to the top. Which makes sense because it would be 1 over a fraction, which would be like flipping the second fraction, putting it on top. So this whole caboodle is going to move down here. If you take everything off of the top, what are you left with? A 1, not a 0, because if it was a 0, the whole thing would wipe out. On the bottom, I've still got my 4. I've still got x to the 4th, but now I've also got an x to the first power that I moved down there. But the negative power is gone. And that leaves me with 1 over what? 4x to the 5th. Which, by the way, if you had subtracted them instead, it would have been negative 1 minus 4, which is negative 5, which would have put it on the bottom anyway. So Which one's that? G. Technically, we could, the next round, have a bingo. Anybody real close? Oh, and fair warning, don't tell me which one you need, because I'm definitely not going to pick that, because I do enjoy the suffering of children.
I definitely need J or C or S or R or M, all those.
Any of those?
Yeah.
I'm going to avoid all of them. Paid attention really carefully when you said it, because you know how well I pay attention. Really well. All right, let's do this one. All right, I want you to try this one with your partner. Parentheses, x to the -3, parentheses to the 4th, x to the 4th over 2x to the -3. Or do you want me to do this one with you and the next one we do with our partners? Look at your partner right now. Say, do you understand this? You don't? All right, we're doing at least one more together, because at least one group, they both looked at each other and said, no. So let's do it together. What do I do with this 4 on the outside? Distribute it, multiply it in. So that's x to the -12th, x to the 4th over 2x to the -3. Anybody have an idea what we could do next? Yeah.
Why for this one do you not put
Yeah, if there was just a number there, or just an x or just a y that didn't have an exponent, you'd put a 1 by it. Sure can. I can move the -12 down to the bottom. And while I'm doing it, let's move this -3 up to the top. You see what I'm doing? I'm moving all the negatives. So this is now, what's on top now? X to the, well, let's not go so fast. X to the 4th, but you're right. X to the 4th, x to the 3rd, because x to the 4th was already up there, and x to the 3rd just moved up. X to the 12th is on here, down here. And also what, a 2? What's x to the 4th times x to the 3rd? X to the 7th. Good job not saying x to the 12th. Now this one, can you cancel it in your head? Can you cancel it? Imagine that there are 7 x's on the top and 12 x's on the bottom. Can you imagine canceling out 7 of them? What would be left? 5 on the top or the bottom? Bottom. So this answer would be 1 over 2x to the 5th. T, like Tommy?
I was, and then she pulled that one.
Anybody bingoing? All right, this one for realsies. We're going to have you do it with your partner, okay? Yes? Yes, you could have said x to the -12 and x to the 4th is x to the -8, right? Just added them. And then you would have put that x to the -3rd on the top and the 8 on the bottom, because
So you still have to do it either way.
you would, but sometimes they do end up actually not being a problem anymore with negatives once you add them. Like if it was x to the -2 and x to the 5th, if you add those, it'd be x to the 3rd, so it'd already be done. But you can do this stuff in almost any order. So the fact that she chose to move stuff to the, or we, I don't remember who chose it, somebody chose to move the negatives first, you could have just added them first, and it would have still worked.
Either way, you still have to move up.
Yes, the negative powers have to be not negative anymore by the end of the problem. So, all right, let's have you try this one with your partner. Let's do parentheses 2m squared to the power of -1 over m squared. Talk to your partner. Oh, hey, little hint, look up. Nice. Talk to your partner. Talk out loud, human words. those of you who are watching this video, we're just playing bingo to practice, but I thought I'd put all the practice problems on here and show how we're working through them. Sophia, make sure you're talking to your partner. You're doing like that silent stoic thing.
Well, I was asking Crystal.